Just hours from now, President Trump will reveal aggressive new tariffs on countries around the world. He's called Liberation Day. That's what he's called it for weeks now. But as one investor put it, I'm not sure we're going to be liberated from all the uncertainty. The White House has said that the tariffs will go into effect immediately. But the rest, what the plan is, still a mystery at this hour. Joining me now is Barry Appleton, co-director and senior fellow of the Center for International Law at New York Law School, as well as distinguished adjunct professor. Thank you so much for being here. Let's start with this. The White House says these will take effect immediately. We're expecting to hear what they are at 4 p.m. With something this big, what does that actually mean? How does that work?
Well, first of all, Sarah, immediately is a political headline. It's not really an operational reality. So for the customs officers, the importers, and the retailers, the people in the supply chain, it means a lot of confusion at the border, and it's going to mean chaos immediately as we try to implement something that usually takes months and months to put into place. What we do know is that this is going to send a real shockwave through pricing and contracting, especially for goods that are already in transit or those that are already under contract. In trade terms, we call this a snapback, but this one is sort of snapping without any warning or a cushion.
Do you think that the markets, in looking at this and with all that you have said, how it's going to affect prices, things that are already in transit, things that have already been purchased, do you think the markets are responding the way that you'd expect them to? Right now, the Dow futures down, and we've seen the market sort of tank over the last few days and weeks.
Well, it's kind of hard to believe this given all the volatility, but I think the markets haven't fully priced in what's going on. I think the easiest way to think about it is that Wall Street may be hedged, but Main Street is not. Investors are fundamentally underestimating the policy depth, the scope of the retaliation that's going to take place, and the legal minefield that I think is going to come next. And the markets, I think, should be, what they're doing is they're reacting to numbers, but they really should be reacting to trust, because that's really what's being torched in this process. And the allies to the U.S. are quietly pivoting, and they're not doing this out of anger, but out of realism, because they simply don't trust the U.S. to keep its word, and that is really what's underscoring what's going on with the markets.
So you think the markets are actually reacting more more positively than you think they should be, in other words?
I think we're likely to have a downside surprise when the actual tariffs come out later today. In that beautiful event at the Rose Garden in the White House, I suspect that the markets are going to be unhappy with what they're going to see.
So the president is using emergency powers to invoke these tariffs, putting them in place. Could there be a legal challenge? Because you alluded to the possibility of that.
Yeah, well, absolutely, because these powers are being imposed under emergency powers that are at best on shaky ground. And there's no credible link between the tariffs and the declared emergencies. And the Supreme Court has already pushed back on the Biden administration and the Trump 1 administration on when they tried to do things in the past, because emergency powers are meant for crises. They're not meant for cutting ribbons on a political announcement. And so foundationally, if this, what the court's going to have to decide is if this is an emergency, and if it's not, the court could very well conclude it's an abuse of power. And it's not really an emergency, I think, when the lawyers are the only ones who are sounding the alarms. But we'll find out, and we'll find out pretty soon.
We will find out in the next few hours what the plan actually is, because no one outside of Donald Trump right now really knows what he is going to announce. Thank you. That was really great. Barry Appleton, appreciate you. Okay.
Story still to come this hour, a bloodbath.